Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
I've met many people over the years, and in my opinion, I have found that people are the same everywhere. They have the same fears, shed similar tears, die in so many years. The oppressed seem to have suffered the most in every continent, coast to coast. Now our lives are in the hands of the pusher man. We break it all down in hopes that you might understand how to protect yourself. Don't make no profit for the man. I'm so glad I've got my own. So glad that I can see my life's a natural high. The man can't put no thing on me. I'm so glad I've got my own. So glad that I can see my life's a natural high. The man can't put no thing on me. You're something kind of funny. How the man take your money. He's shrewd as he can be, in such a way you'll never see. It's a terrible thing inside when your natural high has died. The weaker turn to dope and put all aside their hope. And I'm so glad I've got my own. So glad that I can see my life's a natural high. The man can't put no thing on me. I'm so glad I've got my own. So glad that I can see my life's a natural high. The man can't put no thing on me.
So Dr. West, with his walk-on song today, has beaten me to Chicago. I'm going to Chicago on the back half of this hour to talk to Kevin Shaw about this new documentary called One Golden Summer, which tells the story of the 2014 championship season of Chicago's Jackie Robinson West Little League team, the first all-black team to win the Little League World Series. I'm going to Chicago in about 25, 30 minutes, but he beat me there with Curtis Mayfield. That's just like Cornel West always upstaging me. I can't get to Chicago first. He had to beat me to Chicago. You got Curtis Mayfield on your mind today, Doc. Tell me why.
Well, brother, I'm headed to Chicago for Brother Dwight McKee's funeral fairly soon.
Right.
But Curtis Mayfield is a genius of geniuses. And when you think of what he's saying in that song, remember that was Superfly.
That's right.
And he was talking about the gangsterization of the black community and the gangsterization of America.
Mm.
And the question becomes, how do we deal with gangsters without being gangster-like?
Mm.
How do we deal with gangsters and preserve our own integrity, honesty, and decency so that we can go into any house, White House, crack house, any mama's house, and still hold on to your joy, your love, your hope, your courage, your consistency, and your constancy as a moral. And that's why his music will live forever. And we need to hear what he's saying. What anchor do we have so that we remain committed to the love and the faith and the hope and the vision and the service to the least of these, no matter what circumstance, no matter what condition.
Turn it up, Miles.
And so the Trump.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Just be glad you got your own. So glad that I can see my life's a natural high. The man can't put no thing on me. I'm so glad I've got my own. So glad that I can see my life's a natural high. The man can't put no
So, Doc, I stepped on you. I didn't mean to a moment ago. You were about to say, so that Trump. Finish your sentence. So that Trump what?
So that Trump, so that Trumpism, so that fascism, so that white supremacy, so that predatory capitalism, any form of evil coming at everyday people never has the last word and never poisons our souls such that we simply become parasites on it to do exactly to it what it's doing to us so that we can remain tied to a vision that puts a smile on Curtis Mayfield's face, let alone Martin King and Malcolm X, let alone Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker.
So Doc was talking a moment about the gangsterization of America. We are witnessing that in real time, obviously. There was another effort at pushback against that Trump gangsterism this weekend. You saw it, you heard it, you were a part of it. All these No Kings protests, literally from California to the Carolinas. Here's a sampling of some sound from those protests.
We do not even recognize our country anymore. Everything that makes this country great is disappearing. Our rights are disappearing. As I said in my sign, freedom of speech is disappearing. Separation of powers is disappearing. Freedom of the press. These are all the things that make America great for real, not by Trump's definition. And we need him out of here.
I want Trump out of office. I want ICE off the streets. I want immigrants feeling safe. I want brown people feeling safe. And I want Palestine free and the Congo.
Being an immigrant, for his point of view, we are all criminals for one way or another. Regardless if we have paper, we have family, and we have done anything bad to this country.
Just some of the sound from these many protests all across the country this weekend on Saturday specifically. These No Kings protests pushing back on what Dr. West calls the gangsterization of America. We'll talk more about that when we come forward with Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West, on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening.
Charitable listening.
It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-285-3500. 800-285-3500. Don't wait. Call now. 800-285-3500. 800-285-3500.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
It does indeed. With Dr. Cornel West, every Monday and Thursday, top of the second hour, we are delighted to be in conversation with our friend and brother, Cornel West. We call it Smiley and West. More of Dr. West in a second. I gave you some sound of the protest all across the country this weekend, these No Kings protests. That's what protesters had to say. Here's what Donald Trump had to say about those protests.
What is your response to the protest?
Who are you with?
I'm with the AP.
With AP?
What's your response to the protest over the weekend, the No Kings protest on Saturday?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective. And the people who were whacked out, when you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
And by the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
So that's Donald Trump on Air Force One. So that's the best I can do on the sound. I mean, it's starting to really annoy me that every week I'm listening to the sound of Donald Trump standing next to the engine or actually on Air Force One, and you can't actually hear all the details. So in case you couldn't hear it, let me just tell you what Donald Trump said. First of all, he called these No Kings protests a joke, number one. Number two, he said in that clip, they are not representative of the country. He said thirdly that they were ineffective. And he said, finally, I am not a king. I am not a king. I worked my A off to become president. I am not a king. And to Donald Trump, Dr. West, you say what for starters?
I'll say again, he got to get off the crack pipe, so brother. I mean, it's fascinating. He thinks that the folk who attacked the U.S. Capitol that he pardoned, ending up resulting in the death of a policeman, was not a joke. It was representative of the people. But you have millions of folk out in the streets in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cities across the nation, and they become a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's clear that he's not interested in being president of all the people. He's just interested in being president of the people who like him and who he's willing to pardon if they break the law and end up killing a policeman. So it's clear that he has no respect for the law, no respect for the Constitution, no respect for what it means to really be president of all the people, and then end up saying that, well, it must have been Soros and other folk, and somebody always behind the scene. No, look in the precious face of your fellow citizens who view you as a king and a dictator, and speak to them directly. That's what he refuses to do.
Yeah. What do you make of his pushback on this notion of people regarding him as at least trying to show up like a king? He rejects that notion that he's behaving in a monarchy-like fashion, although the evidence abounds to the contrary.
The part of it is that he has no sense of what it is to respect rule of law and respect Constitution. And unfortunately, he has people around him who support him in that regard. That's true for Vance, that's true for Miller, it's true for all of those close to him, that they don't give him any sense of whether there's constitutional constraints. It's just a matter of will to power, will to power, will to power. And that's precisely the notion of might makes power rather than some moral constraints on power.
Let me just ask you point blank whether or not these protests matter. I'm looking at all these protests over the weekend, again, all across the country, And yet, you heard in our first hour talking to Elliot Mustall, now that SCOTUS is in Donald Trump's back pocket, they're delivering every victory he needs, even as the federal judiciary, the lower courts, the federal courts are trying to hold on to some semblance of this experiment in democracy. SCOTUS is giving Donald Trump every single thing that he wants, the Supreme Court. And so when everyday people, to your point, quoting Sly Stone, take to the streets and let their voices be heard in a moment where he really does have an outsized amount of, he wields, I should say, an outsized, frankly, an unprecedented amount of power for the executive branch, do these protests matter?
Oh, they always matter. They matter in terms of what's going on in the hearts and minds of the folk who are out there. They matter in terms of ways in which they can escalate and expand and deepen. And they matter in terms of people recognizing that a red line has been crossed. And though those particular marches may not result in the kind of change that they're calling for, it is a process. And it's a process that must continue, and we hope, and we'll talk about this in the left forum when we get together. And I think Brother Ellie, he's a brilliant brother writing for the nation in terms of keeping track of the Supreme Court. But we hope that we will reach a point where there be not just more marches, there'll be more solidarity, there'll be more unity, and there will be more pressure brought to bear on the Trump administration. So that one march never becomes the final march. One weekend is never the final weekend. This is a process. And what we need to do is keep people convinced that they must not fall into the pit of fatalism and cynicism and feeling impotent and powerless as if they can do nothing, and they become spectators in the fall of America rather than participants in the transformation of America.
Nope, Doc is right. Politics is not a spectator sport. You got to get off the sideline, get out the benches, and get in the game. It is not a spectator sport, and we concur in that regard. The Left Coast Forum that Dr. West just referenced, in case you have been under a rock, we've been talking about this for a few weeks now, and we are in the final days, and I'm told that the seats are just about gone now. As a matter of fact, somebody just called me a moment ago, called our team a moment ago, and apparently there's a glitch in the matrix. There's a glitch in the registration, so we are working on that right now, I am told. So if you're trying to register right now for these remaining seats and you're not getting through, just as Sam and Dave said, hold on, I'm coming. We're on it right now. Hold on, I'm coming. We're working on it right now, getting it fixed. But the numbers are astounding. I've been looking at, Doc, the last few days of the people who intend to join us this Saturday, October 25th, here in Southern California for the Left Coast Forum. There are a number of major keynote speakers, including Dr. Cornel West. Sidney Kamlaga-Dove, member of Congress, is going to present on the government shutdown, ongoing now into 3 weeks. She'll also talk about Prop 50 here in California on redistricting. So we got a member of Congress presenting, got Dr. West presenting, some other great presenters, and a lot of great plenary sessions all happening this Saturday, October 25th, at the Left Coast Forum here in Southern California, in Los Angeles, at LA Trade Tech. Just go to our website, KBLA 1580. If you're listening around the country or here in Southern California and have not registered yet, but you want to join us this Saturday, it's going to be a place to be, the place to be. Karen Bass, Mayor of LA, will be there as well. The Left Coast Forum this Saturday, just go to KBLA1580.com for all the information and to register. And if for whatever reason it doesn't let you register right now, just check back in an hour or two. And that glitch, whatever it is, will be fixed. I don't know where it came from today. Ain't nothing but the devil. The devil is a lie. We're gonna fix that glitch and let you register for this Left Coast Forum this Saturday. But you were talking earlier, and I thought about a conversation I was in the other day, Doc, and I quoted you. I mean, I often quote Dr. West when you've been a West student as long as I have for 30 plus years. You find yourself quoting him all the time. But we were talking in a group the other day, and I quoted Dr. West in this regard. Doc said many years ago in a speech that actually the title of his speech, the theme of his speech was, "What can a blues nation learn from a blues people?" You recall that talk, Doc? What can a blues nation learn from a blues people? When you talk about the gangsterization of America, certainly this iteration of it, and all these No Kings protests over the weekend, it's abundantly clear to those of us who have any sense of history that black folk, we are the ones who taught America how to protest for right. We taught America how to do that. and all these other institutions and individuals and organizations have learned from us. And I'm not casting aspersion or demonizing anybody else. I'm just making it clear that we are at the epicenter of what it means to protest for right in America. And so when Doc raised that question in that speech some years ago, it came back to my mind in conversation the other day. So I asked this question now in real time. That speech was a decade or so ago, but in real time, 2025, in this moment, what can a blues nation learn from a blues people, Dr. West?
Yeah, I appreciate that question because the question lingers, brother. We taught America how to love in the face of hate. That's Curtis Mayfield, Martin Luther King Jr., Fannie Lou Hamer, and John Coltrane. We taught America how to be free in the face of being terrorized. And part of that freedom is the freedom to protest, the freedom to raise our voices. Our very anthem of black people is lift every voice. America ain't been nothing but a silo of echoes for too long. Find your voice. We have found our voices at our best. I'm talking about our best, not our worst.
Sure.
At our best. And so this protest is always couched within a larger vision of what it is to love. We protest because we love the folk. We love our immigrant brothers and sisters. We love our black brothers and sisters on the street dealing with homelessness. We love our working class folk in these unions getting crushed by bosses. We love our gay brothers and lesbian sisters and trans being demonized by too many straight folk. We love our Palestinians who are undergoing genocide. We love our Jewish folk who are still dealing with anti-Jewish hatred in France and other parts of the world. The love is consistent, so it's not just narrowly ideological, but it has a left twist because we're concerned with the vulnerable, with the poor, with the working classes. So when Brother Rick Wolf comes, he going to speak in his secular Jewish voice, right? He got a critique of the American empire that is profound.
Oh, yes.
And he's part and parcel of our band, of the jazz orchestra, of those who are willing to be loving enough, sacrificial enough, improvisational enough to serve the people and be willing to pay a cost and still have a smile on our face. Curtis Mayfield was singing that song with tears in his eyes. He was talking about crack. He was talking about the vicious attack on the black community and mass incarceration, but he was also singing with a smile on his face. The tears and the smile go together. That's the genius of black music, the genius of black culture, and in that case, the genius of a Curtis Mayfield, and it's at work in your channel, brother.
Yeah.
Your channel is a blues channel.
Yeah.
All of the tears and all the smiles of all of those folks who have come together. We was just with Sister Melina's wonderful BLM, the Black Lives Matter grassroots board meeting just yesterday, and we're singing the praises of the kind of work that you all are doing. Doing what? Telling truth about suffering, in this case, the black folk.
Yeah. Dr. West mentions the brilliant Richard Wolff, who will also be presenting at the Left Coast Forum this weekend. So got some great speakers, some great plenaries. You don't want to miss, again, the Left Coast Forum this weekend. There are those who are looking. You're in New York City. Dr. West, of course, teaching at Union Theological Seminary there in New York City, where he essentially started his teaching career. He's back there now, and they are blessed to have him at Union. Those students are getting the best of him at this point in his career. But there are a lot of people looking to New York City right now, specifically this mayor's race. I got a chance to peep some of that mayoral debate the other night. But we're rounding the corner here in this New York City mayor's race. My sense is that Mondami still pulls this off, even though Andrew Cuomo has closed the gap once Eric Adams got out. Last I read, Adams was thinking about endorsing Cuomo. I don't know if anything's happened since I've been on the air today. And again, not sure what difference that would make if Eric Adams does, in fact, endorse Andrew Cuomo in that particular race. But there are a lot of people looking to New York City. I recognize that New York City ain't America. Put another way, that New York is a very uniquely different city. But there are a lot of people, again, looking to the campaign of Mondami in terms of infusing the left with a vigor, with an energy, if in fact he can pull this off. We got days to go. You're there in New York. What's your read of this race, and whether or not it really is a bellwether for Democrats, whether we're putting too much on it if he pulls it off?
Well, I think it's a very courageous effort of our dear brother Soran Kwame Mamdani. And I'm fairly sure he is going to hit the finish line.
Yeah.
But last minute now, there's been millions and millions and millions of dollars going into Cuomo.
Yeah.
So they're trying to do the same thing they did to Nina Turner, the same thing they did to Corey Bush, same thing they did to Jamal Bowman. But I think he's going to hit the line. And it's a beautiful thing that he hits that line. He just got to hit that line in such a way that he's able to then move into governance so he doesn't end up disappointing the people, unable to deliver. Because everybody's calling him a socialist. He's not running on a socialist project at all. He's not calling for to take over Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and people's control of workplaces. No, he's got a program of New Deal liberalism that looks like communism in an age of fascism.
Think about that. There's a line for you. What it looks like in this particular moment. I hear you loud and clear. So we'll see. We'll see. We're just, again, days away from this race in New York City. The clock is winding down. We'll see what Mamdani can pull off. But again, the larger question, which we'll be debating in the days to come on this program, if he pulls this off, if he hits the line, as Doc says, what does it mean for Democrats writ large? How will the left be empowered? How will progressives be empowered by his victory if Zoran Mamdani can pull this off in New York City? For now, we thank Dr. West. I'm told by my team that whatever that glitch was in the Matrix, it's fixed. So for those going on,
wonderful.
Yeah, the Lord works in mysterious ways. What can I say? Those going online right now to register for the Left Coast Forum, all is clear, and I would do that immediately because we are running out of space. But you'll see Dr. Cornel West in person here in Southern California this Saturday at the Left Coast Forum. He's the closing keynote, but you'll hear him again on Thursday, Lord willing, the top of the second hour when we do another iteration of Smiley and West. Doc, love you. Talk to you soon, my friend. All the best to you, sir.
Love you, my brother. Stay strong, man.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward?
Because he's not going back.
And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The federal shutdown enters another week, now the third longest in U.S. history. Democrats want health care subsidies. Republicans demand a deal first. Here's Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
This is the first time in history that any party has had the audacity to shut down the government over a totally clean, nonpartisan continuing resolution.
The Senate meets today for an 11th attempt to end the impasse. Good Morning America's Robin Roberts has donated a cutting-edge broadcast media center to Southeastern Louisiana University. The 33,000 square foot facility will help journalism students thrive and marks a historic moment for the school. And Cardi B is speaking out against the Trump administration's proposed $186 billion in SNAP cuts, warning it could hurt food pantries during the holidays. She's urging easier access to aid amid rising costs. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Escape the confines of the city for the expansive beauty of the Santa Ynez Valley with a short 2-hour drive up the coast. Let Chumash Casino Resort be your destination getaway. Welcome to freedom. Go to chumashcasino.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams reminded everybody that they are a legitimate contender in the NFC. They went over to London and delivered a 35-7 beatdown over Jacksonville Sunday morning. 5 touchdown passes for Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, 3 to wide receiver Devontae Adams. The Rams are 5-2. They're in the first place tied with San Francisco in the NFC West. The Chargers forgot to bring their defense to SoFi Stadium. They lost to Indianapolis 34-24. The 4-3 Chargers gave up 401 yards in total offense. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor had 3 rushing touchdowns. The Dodgers still don't know who they're going to play in the World Series. Seattle and Toronto will meet up for a decisive Game 7 tonight in the American League Championship Series. Toronto won Game 6 last night 6-2. First pitch tonight at 5 o'clock on Fox Sports. The World Series starts on Friday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Tavis, Smiley with a final word here about the upcoming Left Coast Forum on Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. As you know by now, our major keynoters include Professor Richard Wolff and Dr. Cornel West. LA Mayor Karen Bass will be there as well. But listen to some of these plenaries: fighting for black students and educational equity, resilience under Trumpism, how to stay sane under fascism, the battle for democracy, what's at stake in 2026, healthcare under attack, fighting Trump's cuts, and building patient power. From seed to system, building a local food economy in South LA, theater as a force for change, voices from Palestine. The Constitution is not self-reinforcing. Racism on the left, building communities of care, federal changes and their impact on healthcare in LA County, Committee for the First Amendment, and more. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
You are indeed, and I'm glad about it. A conversation now with Emmy Award-winning director and cinematographer Kevin Shaw about his new documentary. It's called One Golden Summer. It relives the 2014 championship season of Chicago's Jackie Robinson West Little League team, the first all-black team to win the Little League U.S. Championship. Take a listen.
On the ground, diving play at third to second. They get one, and that's all they're going to get. Chicago's on top. And now we're 3 outs away from the United States Championship.
Everything was kind of a blur. It was a man on first and second, and then Ed threw that ball, man, and hit to him. He turned it, threw it on the down to Marquise, threw it down to me, and I'm over-exaggerating the stretch.
It's over!
I just started just banging on the dirt, man.
Chicago wins the United States Championship.
like a joy because it was like we finally got these dudes. We did it.
I remember that summer well, Kevin Shaw, and I'm glad you got around to doing a documentary about it. How are you today, sir, for starters?
I'm doing great, Tavis. Thanks for having me today.
Man, it's an honor to have you on the program today. Let me just start with the elements. The elements of this story that make for a great documentary. The elements.
Well, I think you have this idea of this kind of rags to riches story. You have this underdog, all black team from Chicago South Side that is competing in a space and in a tournament where there aren't a lot of young black men playing in, for one. So they're kind of an outlier. And here they are competing at the highest level, and not only competing, but then dominating and winning a U.S. championship. And watching them progress through the tournament with each game, they're gaining more notoriety, they're gaining more love, not only across Chicago, but across the nation. And in Chicago, you're having groups from the North Side and groups from the South Side coming together and watching the team progress and win. And you're starting to see that a little bit around the nation as well. Everybody is behind the boys as they end up winning this championship. And they become overnight celebrities. There's no doubt about it. You know, they end up going to the White House to visit President Obama. They're feted like royalty. They have a ticker tape parade here in the city that's like usually reserved for like the Chicago Bulls or the Blackhawks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, everybody is just riding high with them until these allegations come out, you know, that's brought about by a rival coach from a Chicago suburb who Jackie Robinson played against on their road to Williamsport, and they defeated them handily. Like they lost the game 43-2, and against this team from Evergreen Park, and the rival coach there, people will say was bitter about that loss. The community was really upset about that loss, but there had been this reputation and this whispering and rumors about where Jackie Robinson West were getting their players. Little League Baseball, you're supposed to comprise a team specifically from players that live in a specific neighborhood boundary. And there were allegations that Jackie Robinson West was not doing this, that they were bringing players in from other parts of the city and the suburbs. And so when this coach blows the whistle and brings up this allegation to Little League International, who initially cleared the case, said that the team was okay, that they found no fault with their roster. It's not until a local reporter then takes up the story and really pursues it doggedly, where he brings out more information that makes Little League then think twice and rescind the championship, the U.S. championship, from the team, which sends everybody in a tizzy. You know, emotions run crazy after that moment, where people feel really heartbroken, really betrayed on some sides, and really don't know what to think about what they just witnessed and supported.
Yeah. Before I get to the allegations, and you laid out quite nicely, that I appreciate, just tell me a bit more about the team as it was constructed.
Well, these were kids that came primarily from the South Side of Chicago. And I think on a national level, when you hear about that, you're thinking about Chicago, and you're thinking about the South Side. Nationally, you're putting on the stigma that these kids are coming from, you know, possibly broken down neighborhoods or homes, or coming from areas that are dealing with gun violence and crime. That is the stigma that has been put upon our city. And one thing that the movie tries to really investigate and interrogate is that media perception, because when you look at the guys and their families, they're coming from middle-class backgrounds. The neighborhood that they primarily came from at Morgan Park on the South Side, it's a middle-class background and middle-class community and everything. And so that was an unfair stigma that was put against them, you know. But that's something that the media kind of rode and used that narrative to help build up, the whole lore around Jackie Robinson West. But these guys were very talented. They were at the top of their league in terms of being elite baseball players, and that went on to show as they continue to grow and mature and are young adults.
Yeah.
A lot of them went on to play, in professional and in college. And so the talent was there at a very young age for this group.
Tell me more about this class argument. And I'm glad that the film does what it does in the way that it does around this particular issue. But to your point, the media loves a story where you can say a bunch of poor black kids from the South Side. I get it. But tell me about the way the film sort of dissects that class argument that the media advanced.
Well, you really just look back at a lot of the stories that were being told as the team was progressing during Williamsport, and they really just put that narrative out there, that this group was coming from the South Side that is plagued with gun violence, where, I think one of the lines from one of the reporters, one of the stories said, where fairy tale dreams don't happen, and just kind of put it that plainly. And I think a lot of people from the South Side and from Chicago just groan at that kind of impression of the city and reputation, because we know that that's not true, and in all respects. And even one of the parents said, hey, we don't even live on that side of town, and yet they're saying that this is where we're coming from. So I really wanted to put a mirror up to that and show that a lot of times what made the Jackie Robinson West team special was that they really expressed this joy and this exuberance as they were playing. And I think that's something that folks really latched upon and why they really cheered them on and were rooting for them during that whole time frame, because they just loved watching them play, and they had fun playing like any other kid out there, and so they kind of broke that stereotype and broke those initial impressions that you might think of what, black youth might be.
So there are two arguments here. There are two issues here, rather. One is class. You just heard Kevin respond to the class question. The other is race. When we come forward, I want to just probe this issue with Kevin. There are at least a couple of ways to view this race argument. They are the first all-black team to win the Little League Championship, and that's a big deal. And yet, as you heard Ellie Mistal and I discussing at the very outset of today's program, the first hour, the first few minutes, talking about baseball and the major league playoffs going on right now, we got into a bit of a conversation about how baseball used to be a black sport. And now they're not recruiting for black inner city youth anymore. We talked about the lack of green spaces for black boys to play baseball. We talked about the Caribbean players and the Central American players, et cetera, et cetera. So there's the class argument and there's the race argument. And to my mind, at least, this race thing cuts a couple different ways. On the one hand, there is something to celebrate about the fact that this is an all-black team, the first all-black team to win the Little League Championship. But the other side of it is that when you lay too much on the all-black, you don't really wrestle with their talent. And I want to probe that with Kevin Shaw. When we come forward, the documentary is called One Golden Summer. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Tavis Smiley with a final word here about the upcoming Left Coast Forum on Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. As you know by now, our major keynoters include Professor Richard Wolff and Dr. Cornel West. LA Mayor Karen Bass will be there as well. But listen to some of these plenaries: fighting for black students and educational equity, resilience under Trumpism, how to stay sane under fascism, the battle for democracy, what's at stake in 2026, healthcare under attack, fighting Trump's cuts, and building patient power from seed to system, building a local food economy in South LA, theater as a force for change, voices from Palestine. The Constitution is not self-reinforcing, racism on the left, building communities of care, federal changes and their impact on health care in LA County, Committee for the First Amendment, and more. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-373-7519. That's 800-373-7519.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Kevin Shaw, sometimes that all-black moniker can cut a variety of ways. Tell me more.
Well, I think when you look at the makeup of that team and we were talking in the last segment just how elite they were.
Mm-hmm.
And you break it down in terms of some of those guys like an Ed Howard, who was a first-round draft pick of the Chicago Cubs. You look at a Pierce Jones, who got drafted by the San Diego Padres. You look at a DJ Butler and a Marquise Jackson and a Trey Hondras, who all played collegiately. And Eddie King, who just played in the College World Series this year for the University of Louisville. All those guys are still pursuing their Major League Baseball dreams in some fashion. That's an amazing amount of elite talent right there. Yeah. That, I think sometimes because of how everything shook down with them, they don't get their flowers for, and that's the one thing that they had to overcome. They had to overcome that, and yet they did. And I think that's what the thing that speaks to this story, to these guys who dealt with so much positivity, and then on the other side had dealt with so much negativity. They were able to still maintain their goals and dreams, still pursue that baseball passion, still go on and get their collegiate degree in many cases, So it's not like they're just out here trying to be an athlete. They're also handling the academic side so that, they have something to fall back on if the athletic opportunities don't arise. So they're excelling, and that's the one thing that I hope people take away from the story.
Yeah. To your mind, how do these allegations that came later that you unpacked a bit for us earlier, how do these allegations, trying to find the right phrase here, how do they taint this this story that everybody was celebrating in 2014?
Well, I think it just brings a lot of questions in regards to who knew what and what adults failed the kids, and I think that's the real big thing, is that adults here failed these young men from really basking in the limelight throughout the rest of their lives and everything. If they didn't go through some of the bullying and that stigma that's put on them as being considered a cheater or what have you, they wouldn't have had to deal with some of the just terrible stuff that came about that, that drove some of those guys from their dreams.
Yeah.
You know,
When you say the adults failed them, I want to give you a chance to unpack that when we come forward in our remaining moments. The adults, Kevin Shaw argues, failed these kids in the documentary One Golden Summer, which relives the 2014 championship season of Chicago's Jackie Robinson West Little League team. In what ways did the parents fail these amazing kids playing the game of baseball? We'll close on that note when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
Made fresh daily in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Kevin Shaw in our remaining moments as we discuss the new documentary One Golden Summer, which again relives the 2014 championship season of Chicago's Jackie Robinson West Little League team. They become the first all-black team to win the Little League championship, and then it all falls apart with these allegations that come to the fore. In what ways, Kevin, my time is getting tighter, in what ways did parents let kids down?
It wasn't the parents that let the kids down.
The adults,
I want to make sure that's clear. You know, it's the administrators of both Jackie Robinson West and Little League International that let these families down. When you as a parent are being told that your kid is eligible to play and you believe that, you're ready to go and get your kid out there and compete. You know, you had an instance where you had one of the families that did live outside of the boundary, but they were told that they were grandfathered in to the organization because an older brother had played on Jackie Robinson West years prior. You have another family that was separated. The parents were separated, but the son was living in the district, in the neighborhood boundary. Plus, he was going to a school in the neighborhood boundary, even though his mother might have been living in one of the suburbs. So he's splitting time between households. But in that instance, he's being told that he's okay to play because he's living in that other home that's in the Morgan Park neighborhood and going to school in the Morgan Park neighborhood. So when you're being told that you're okay to play, who are you not to believe when this is the administrator telling you that?
Yeah.
And then when the allegations come up and the Little League tells you that everything is okay too, well, you're going to believe the president of the organization who says everything looks kosher. So it's the administrators there that failed these families.
No, I'm glad you corrected me. I mean, I didn't mean to say parents. I said parents. I meant to say adults. And so I take
That's all.
I take that distinction. I'm glad you got me on that one. I got 2 minutes left here, barely 2 minutes. What does it mean that the name of this team, given this story, the celebratory part of the story, the scandal part of the story, they're wearing uniforms that have the name Jackie Robinson on them? What does that mean?
We all know what Jackie Robinson means to this country, and especially to the Black community. He's a hero. And everything that he did, all the things that he went through in his life, and the way that he did it with such grace and dignity. He's the ultimate role model, not only for somebody that's playing in baseball, but I think for every American, really. And so to be able to wear that jersey with his name on it means everything. Means everything to all these kids.
Here's my exit question with 45 seconds to go. What's the takeaway for us when it comes to issues of race and power and money, which to my mind are all too prevalent in youth sports these days?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. I don't know if I have one clear answer in terms of dealing with some of the issues that talk about fairness, talk about eligibility, talking about, in this instance, the media perception of how people are perceived when they're coming from a certain cultural background. I want folks to walk away with this idea of these kids who went through the highs and lows of this entire journey, really looking back on it and not focusing on the lows and the trauma that they went through, but focusing on the memories that they had, the great memories of competing in that Williamsport tournament and the brotherhood that they built from it. Those guys have a bond that will never be broken. And this was just one chapter in their life. It's not going to define who they are. It's going to make them stronger as they move forward in their journey.
It's called One Golden Summer. Again, the story of the 2014 championship season of Chicago's Jackie Robinson West Little League team, brought to us by the Emmy Award-winning director and cinematographer Kevin Shaw, who I've delighted in having on this program in conversation. Kevin, great work. Thanks for the conversation, sir. All the best to you, my friend.
Thank you, Tavis. I really appreciate it.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.